From the earliest whispers of human history, every culture has grappled with the same profound mystery. How did everything, the stars, the earth, the very fabric of existence, come to be? It's a question that transcends time and geography, uniting humanity across millennia. And while science offers its own explanations today, ancient civilizations turned to something equally powerful: stories. Creation myths, these timeless tales born from the imaginations of our ancestors, don't just explain the origins of the universe, they reveal how early humans made sense of their place within it. Today, we're diving into 20 of these ancient creation myths, each one a window into the minds of people who lived thousands of years ago. From the cosmic egg of Chinese mythology to the swirling chaos of the Norse void, these stories are as diverse as the cultures that created them. But here's the real question: what can these ancient narratives teach us about our own search for meaning in the vastness of the cosmos? Let's find out. In the beginning, there was chaos, a swirling, boundless void where nothing existed, yet everything was possible. This wasn't just emptiness, it was a raw, untamed force, a primordial soup of potential waiting to burst into existence. From this infinite abyss, the first elements of the cosmos began to take shape. Out of chaos emerged Gaia, the earth, solid and enduring, a foundation for all life. Alongside her came Tartarus, a deep, dark abyss that would become the underworld, and Eros, the force of love and attraction, the spark that would bind the universe together. These three primordial beings were the first steps in a grand cosmic dance, transforming disorder into something tangible and alive. But the story doesn't stop there. Gaia, now fully formed, gave birth to Uranus, the sky, and together they created the Titans, powerful beings who would rule the early cosmos. The Titans, in turn, gave rise to the Olympian gods, marking a shift from the old order to the new. This transition wasn't just a change of leadership, it was a profound evolution, a movement from raw, untamed energy to structured, harmonious rule. The Greek creation myth is a tale of balance where chaos and order are intertwined, each giving rise to the other in an endless cycle. What's fascinating about this myth is how it mirrors the natural processes we see in the world around us. Just as chaos gave way to order, so too do storms give way to calm, and destruction paves the way for renewal. The Greeks understood that creation isn't a neat, linear process, it's messy, unpredictable, and filled with tension. And this tension between chaos and order isn't unique to Greek mythology. Across cultures, we find similar themes, as if humanity has always sought to explain the inexplicable by exploring the forces that shape our existence. As we move forward, we'll see how other ancient myths grapple with this same duality, each offering a unique perspective on how the universe came to be. But for now, let's stay with the Greeks because their story is far from over. The rise of the Olympian gods marks a new chapter, one where the cosmos begins to take on the familiar shape we recognize today. And yet, even as order prevails, the shadow of chaos remains, a reminder that creation is never truly complete. Long before the pyramids rose from the desert sands, the ancient Egyptians told a story of creation that began not with chaos but with stillness. In the beginning, there was only none, a vast, endless ocean of dark, primordial waters. From this watery abyss, the first god, Atum, emerged. Unlike other deities who were born or shaped by others, Atum was self-created, a being of pure will and intention. He rose from the waters, bringing light and purpose to the void. Atum's first act of creation was both simple and profound. He spat out Shu, the god of air, and Tefnut, the goddess of moisture. These two deities represented the fundamental forces needed to sustain life, breath and water. From them, the world began to take shape. Shu and Tefnut gave birth to Jeb, the earth, and Nut, the sky, whose arched body formed the heavens. Their children, in turn, became the parents of the gods who would populate the Egyptian pantheon: Osiris, Isis, Set, and Nephthys. But Atum's story doesn't end there. In Egyptian cosmology, the sun played a central role, not just as a source of light, but as a symbol of divine power and renewal. Atum was closely associated with the sun, often depicted as merging with the sun god Ra at sunset, only to be reborn each morning. This daily cycle of death and rebirth mirrored the eternal nature of creation itself, a reminder that life was a continuous, unending process. The Egyptians believed that without the sun, the world would fall back into the darkness of none, making the sun not just a celestial body, but the very heartbeat of existence. This interplay of light and darkness, creation and dissolution, is a theme that echoes across many ancient myths. Whether it's the sun rising over the Nile or the sparks of life emerging from the void, these stories remind us of the delicate balance that sustains the universe. And as we'll see, this balance is a thread that connects creation myths across cultures, each with its own unique way of explaining the mysteries of existence. In the icy expanse of Norse mythology, the story of Ymir unfolds as a tale of cosmic sacrifice and transformation. Ymir, the first being, was no ordinary giant. He was a primordial force, born from the collision of fire and ice in the void of Ginnungagap. His body, vast and infinite, became the raw material from which the universe itself was forged. But how did this giant's body become the foundation of all existence? The answer lies in a moment of divine intervention and brutal necessity. Odin, the All-Father, and his brothers Vili and Ve faced a monumental task. They knew that to bring order to the chaos, Ymir had to fall. In a decisive act, they ended the giant's life, and from his body they crafted the world as we know it. Ymir's flesh became the earth, his bones the mountains, and his blood the oceans. Even his skull was repurposed, lifted high to form the sky, while his brains scattered as clouds. This act of creation was not just physical, it was deeply symbolic. The death of Ymir represented the ultimate sacrifice, a necessary transformation from chaos to order, from formlessness to structure. The Norse myth of Ymir isn't just about the origins of the world, it's a profound meditation on the themes of renewal and interconnectedness. Every element of Ymir's body found new purpose, illustrating how destruction and creation are two sides of the same cosmic coin. This idea resonates across cultures, as many ancient myths similarly use the body of a primordial being as a metaphor for creation. From the Chinese giant Pangu to the Babylonian Tiamat, the concept of a universe born from sacrifice and transformation is a recurring motif, reminding us that creation often demands a profound cost. The story of Ymir invites us to reflect on the cycles of life and death, destruction and renewal that shape not only the cosmos but our own lives. What does it mean to transform something old into something new? How do we find meaning in the sacrifices that pave the way for growth? These are questions that echo through the ages, as timeless as the myths themselves. And as we move forward, we'll see how other cultures have grappled with these same themes, each adding their own unique voice to the universal story of creation. From the vast emptiness of the primordial void, we now turn to a myth that introduces us to the concept of endless cycles, the Hindu creation story. At the heart of this tale lies the Hiranyagarbha, the golden cosmic egg, a symbol of infinite potential and the birthplace of existence itself. Picture this, a shimmering, radiant egg floating in the nothingness, containing within it the seeds of all life, all matter, and all time. From this egg emerges Brahma, the creator god, who begins the monumental task of shaping the universe. But this isn't a one-time event. Brahma's act of creation is just the beginning of a never-ending cycle that defines Hindu cosmology. In Hindu belief, creation is not a singular act but part of a continuous rhythm. creation, preservation, and destruction. Brahma brings the world into being, Vishnu sustains it, and Shiva eventually dissolves it, only for the cycle to begin anew. This idea of cyclical time is deeply woven into Hindu philosophy, reflecting the natural rhythms of life, birth, growth, decay, and rebirth. It's a profound reminder that nothing is static, everything is in motion, part of a grand, eternal dance. What makes this myth particularly fascinating is how it mirrors the patterns we see in nature. The changing of seasons, the rise and fall of civilizations, even the cycles of day and night. It's a concept that resonates across cultures, appearing in other creation myths where the universe is seen as a living, breathing entity, constantly renewing itself. As we explore these stories, we'll see how this idea of cycles connects humanity's understanding of existence from the ancient world to the present day. The Hindu cosmic egg and Brahma's role in creation offer a unique perspective on the origins of the universe, one that emphasizes balance, renewal, and the interconnectedness of all things. And as we move forward, we'll see how this cyclical view of creation echoes in myths from other corners of the world, reminding us that the mysteries of existence often transcend time and culture. From the swirling chaos of the cosmic egg, the giant Pangu emerged, a being tasked with shaping the very fabric of existence. According to ancient Chinese mythology, Pangu spent an astonishing 18,000 years laboring to separate heaven and earth, pushing them apart with his immense strength. As he grew taller each day, the sky rose higher and the earth sank deeper, creating the space for life to flourish. This act of separation wasn't just physical, it was a profound act of balance, setting the stage for the harmony that would define the natural world. When Pangu's work was finally complete, he collapsed from exhaustion and his body transformed into the elements of creation. His breath became the wind and clouds, his voice the rolling thunder. His eyes turned into the sun and moon, casting light and shadow across the earth, while his blood flowed as rivers and his veins became the paths of the land. Even his hair and skin gave rise to forests and grasslands, and his bones formed the mountains that would stand as timeless guardians of the earth. This myth isn't just a story of creation, it's a reflection of the deep reverence for balance and harmony in Chinese philosophy. Every part of Pangu's body contributed to the natural world, illustrating the interconnectedness of all things. It's a reminder that creation isn't just about beginnings, but about the delicate equilibrium that sustains life. This theme of balance resonates across many creation myths, from the Norse Ymir to the Egyptian Atum. Each culture, in its own way, explores the idea that the universe thrives on harmony, a delicate dance between opposing forces. Pangu's story, with its emphasis on the unity of the cosmos, invites us to consider how balance shapes our own world, and perhaps our own lives. The Aboriginal Dreamtime is not just a story of creation, it's a living, breathing connection between the past, the present, and the natural world. In this ancient belief system, the land itself is sacred, shaped by the ancestors who traveled across the earth in the Dreamtime, a timeless era before memory. These ancestral beings, often depicted as animals, plants, or even celestial forces, carved rivers, raised mountains, and filled the world with life. Every rock, tree, and waterhole holds a story, a fragment of the Dreamtime that continues to resonate with the people who call this land home. What makes these stories so unique is how they're preserved. For tens of thousands of years, the tales of the Dreamtime have been passed down through oral traditions, songs, dances, and art that carry the wisdom of the ancestors. These aren't just myths, they're a guide to living in harmony with the land, a reminder that every action we take ripples through the environment. For the Aboriginal people, the Dreamtime isn't something confined to the past. It's a continuous thread woven into the fabric of daily life, binding them to the earth and to each other. This deep spiritual connection to the environment is a theme we see echoed in creation myths across the globe. Whether it's the Dreamtime, the Norse world tree Yggdrasil, or the Hawaiian chant of Cumulipo, these stories remind us that humans are not separate from nature, we are part of it. They invite us to see the world not as a resource to be exploited, but as a living entity to be respected and cherished. And in that respect, the Dreamtime offers a profound lesson for us all. From the vast cosmos of creation stories, we now journey to ancient Mesopotamia, where the Enuma Elish unfolds, a dramatic tale of divine conflict and the birth of the world. This Babylonian epic begins in a time before time, when the universe was nothing but swirling chaos, represented by the primordial goddess Tiamat, the embodiment of the saltwater ocean. Alongside her was Apsu, the freshwater abyss, and together they gave rise to the first generation of gods. But this harmony wouldn't last. The younger gods, restless and loud, disturbed the quiet of the primordial waters, sparking a chain of events that would reshape the cosmos forever. Tiamat, once a nurturing force, becomes a vengeful mother, enraged by the chaos caused by her offspring. She raises an army of monstrous creatures, determined to destroy the younger gods and restore the void. Enter Marduk, a powerful god of storms and wisdom, who steps forward to face Tiamat in a battle that will decide the fate of existence. Armed with mighty weapons and unwavering resolve, Marduk confronts Tiamat in a clash of chaos against order. The battle is fierce, but Marduk emerges victorious, slaying Tiamat and using her body to create the world as we know it. From her ribs he forms the sky, from her eyes the Tigris and Euphrates rivers flow, and from her tail he fashions the mountains. In this act, Marduk transforms chaos into structure, bringing order to the universe. The Enuma Elish isn't just a story of creation, it's a reflection of humanity's deep-seated belief in the struggle between chaos and order. Tiamat represents the untamed, unpredictable forces of nature, while Marduk symbolizes the human desire to impose structure and meaning on the world. This theme of overcoming chaos to create something enduring resonates across countless myths, reminding us that creation often begins with conflict. And as we'll see, this idea isn't unique to Mesopotamia. It's a thread that weaves through many ancient stories, each offering its own perspective on the eternal dance between disorder and harmony. The Mayan Popol Vuh offers a fascinating glimpse into the trials and tribulations of creation, where the gods themselves faced setbacks and had to persevere to achieve their ultimate goal. In this myth, the gods initially set out to create beings who could worship and honor them, but their first attempts fell short. Their initial creations were silent and unmoving, unable to speak or praise their makers. Disappointed, the gods decided to turn these failed beings into animals, giving them a place in the world but not the ability to fulfill the divine purpose they had envisioned. Not deterred, the gods tried again, this time crafting humans out of mud. These beings were fragile and crumbled easily, unable to sustain themselves or show proper reverence. Once more, the gods had to acknowledge their failure, but instead of giving up, they persisted, showing a remarkable determination to get it right. Their next attempt involved shaping humans from wood. While these wooden figures could move and speak, they lacked souls and the capacity for true understanding. They wandered aimlessly, disconnected from the gods and the world around them. This too was deemed a failure, and the wooden humans were ultimately destroyed. Finally, the gods turned to corn, a sacred and life-giving crop in Mayan culture. From maize dough, they fashioned the first true human beings with the ability to think, feel, and express gratitude. These humans were everything the gods had hoped for. They could speak, worship, and live in harmony with the world. This final creation marked the culmination of the gods' efforts, showcasing the themes of trial, error, and perseverance that run deep in this myth. What makes the Popol Vuh so compelling is its portrayal of creation as a process rather than a single, flawless act. The god's journey reflects the idea that creation is messy, imperfect, and often requires multiple attempts to achieve something meaningful. This theme resonates with many other creation myths around the world, where the act of bringing life into existence is depicted as a series of experiments, each one teaching the creators something new. It's a reminder that even the divine can struggle, and that failure is often a stepping stone to success. From the cosmic waters of ancient Egypt, we now travel to the lush landscapes of West Africa, where the Yoruba people tell a story of creation that is as much about balance as it is about beginnings. At the heart of this myth is Olodumare, the supreme being, the source of all existence. But Olodumare does not act alone. Instead, creation unfolds through a chain of divine collaboration, with the Orishas, powerful deities who serve as intermediaries between the heavens and the earth, playing a central role. Olodumare entrusted the task of shaping the world to the Orishas, each with their own unique gifts and responsibilities. Among them, Obatala, the sky god, stands out as the divine sculptor. According to the myth, Obatala descended from the heavens with a bag of sacred tools and a mission to mold humanity from clay. With great care and precision, he shaped the first humans, breathing life into their forms and imbuing them with the essence of the divine. But this act of creation was not without its challenges. In one version of the story, Obatala, overcome by curiosity, drank palm wine and became careless, crafting some humans with imperfections. This moment serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between perfection and flaw, a theme that resonates deeply in Yoruba cosmology. Balance, in fact, is central to this myth. The Orishas are not just creators, they are guardians of harmony, each overseeing different aspects of the natural and spiritual worlds. Ogun, the god of iron and technology, ensures the tools of progress are used wisely. Yemoja, the mother of waters, nurtures life and protects the vulnerable. And Shango, the fiery god of thunder, embodies both destruction and renewal, reminding us that creation is often a cycle of endings and beginnings. Together, these deities maintain the equilibrium of the universe, ensuring that no force, be it chaos or order, overpowers the other. This idea of divine collaboration isn't unique to the Yoruba tradition. Across cultures, creation myths often depict a team effort among gods, each contributing their unique abilities to bring the world into being. It's a powerful reminder that creation is rarely the work of a single hand, but rather a collective endeavor shaped by many hands and many wills. And as we move forward, we'll see how this theme of collaboration plays out in other myths, revealing the universal truth that creation is as much about connection as it is about origin. Now, let's step into the vibrant world of the Aztecs, where creation is not a single event but a series of cycles, each one marked by both brilliance and devastation. This is the myth of the Five Suns, a story that reveals the Aztec understanding of time as something deeply cyclical, where worlds rise and fall in an eternal rhythm. According to the Aztecs, our current world is the fifth in a sequence of creations, each governed by its own sun and each meeting a dramatic end. The first world was destroyed by jaguars, the second by hurricanes, the third by fiery rain, and the fourth by a great flood. Each collapse wasn't just an end but a prelude to a new beginning, a testament to the resilience of existence. The fifth and current world is sustained by the sun god Tenatia, whose energy keeps the fragile balance of life intact. But even this world is not eternal. It too is destined to end, perhaps by earthquakes, as the Aztecs believed. What's striking about this myth is its portrayal of time as a circle rather than a straight line. For the Aztecs, the universe wasn't static, it was alive, constantly in motion, with creation and destruction locked in an endless dance. This cyclical view of time reflects a profound awareness of life's fragility and the interconnectedness of all things. Every sunrise, every harvest, every breath was seen as a gift from Tenatia, a reminder of the delicate harmony that sustains us. Themes of renewal and impermanence resonate deeply in this myth, inviting us to reflect on the transient nature of our own lives. It's a perspective that finds echoes in other creation stories around the world, where the universe is often imagined as a series of attempts, each one building on the lessons of the last. The Aztec myth of the Five Suns isn't just a tale of gods and worlds, it's a meditation on the cycles that shape existence itself, urging us to appreciate the fleeting beauty of the present moment. And speaking of cycles, this idea of multiple creations isn't unique to the Aztecs. Across cultures, myths often explore the concept of worlds rising and falling, each one carrying the seeds of its own transformation. It's a universal theme that reminds us of the ever-changing nature of existence, a theme we'll see echoed in the myths that follow. In the icy expanse of the Arctic, where the sea meets the sky in an endless horizon, the Inuit people tell a haunting tale of Sedna, the goddess of the sea and the mother of all marine life. According to their myth, Sedna was once a young woman who lived with her father by the shore. But her story takes a tragic turn when she is betrayed and cast into the freezing waters, where she transforms into a powerful deity. As she sinks into the depths, her fingers are severed, and each piece becomes a new creature: seals, whales, and fish filling the ocean with life. This myth not only explains the origins of sea creatures, but also carries a profound lesson about the delicate balance of nature and humanity's place within it. Sedna's tale is one of sacrifice and transformation, reflecting the Inuits' deep respect for the natural world. Her suffering and eventual ascension as a goddess remind us of the interconnectedness of all life. The Inuit believe that Sedna's mood directly affects the sea's bounty. When angered, she withholds the animals, causing hardship for those who depend on them. To appease her, shamans perform rituals, diving into the spiritual realm to comb her hair and soothe her spirit. This practice underscores the importance of harmony between humans and nature, a theme that resonates across many creation myths. What makes Sedna's story particularly compelling is its timeless relevance. It speaks to the universal need to honor and protect the environment, a message that feels especially urgent today. The myth reminds us that the natural world is not just a resource to be exploited, but a sacred entity deserving of reverence. By understanding Sedna's connection to the sea, we gain insight into how ancient cultures viewed their relationship with the earth, a relationship built on respect, reciprocity, and humility. As we reflect on Sedna's story, it's impossible not to notice how creation myths like hers often highlight the sacredness of the natural world. Whether it's the oceans, the forests, or the skies, these stories teach us that every part of our environment is alive with meaning and purpose. They invite us to see the world not as separate from ourselves, but as an extension of our own existence. And in doing so, they challenge us to live in a way that honors the delicate balance of life itself. Now, let's set sail to the vast Pacific Ocean, where the Polynesian people tell the story of Maui, a clever and mischievous demigod whose daring actions forever changed the face of the earth. According to legend, Maui noticed that his people had little land to live on, with most of the world covered by endless waves. Determined to help, he crafted a magical fishhook from the jawbone of his ancestor and set out on a journey to fish up the islands from the depths of the sea. With strength and cunning, Maui cast his hook into the ocean, catching the ocean floor itself. As he pulled with all his might, islands began to rise from the water, creating the lush, volcanic landscapes that would become home to countless generations. This myth isn't just a tale of physical creation. It's a celebration of human ingenuity and our deep connection to the natural world. Maui's actions reflect the Polynesian worldview, where humans are not separate from nature but active participants in shaping it. His resourcefulness embodies the idea that even in the face of vast, seemingly insurmountable challenges, creativity and determination can lead to profound transformation. It's a story that resonates with anyone who's ever looked at a problem and thought, "What if I could change this?" The myth of Maui also highlights the delicate balance between humans and their environment. The islands he fished up weren't just land, they were a gift, a place where life could flourish. This reflects the Polynesian respect for the earth and its resources, a reminder that the world we inhabit is both fragile and abundant. It's a theme that echoes across many creation myths, where the act of creation often involves not just shaping the world but also learning to live in harmony with it. As we marvel at Maui's cleverness and the beauty of the islands he brought to the surface, it's worth reflecting on how creation myths like this one celebrate the human spirit. They remind us that we are not passive observers of the universe but active creators, capable of shaping our world in ways both big and small. And with that, we move forward to explore how other cultures have woven tales of resourcefulness and resilience into their own creation stories. In the ancient beliefs of Zoroastrianism, the universe itself is a stage for an epic and eternal battle, a cosmic war between light and darkness, good and evil. At the heart of this myth is Ahura Mazda, the supreme god of light, wisdom, and order. Ahura Mazda didn't just create the world out of nothingness. He crafted it as a deliberate act to challenge and ultimately overcome Angra, the destructive spirit of chaos and darkness. This isn't just a story about creation, it's a story about purpose. The universe, in Zoroastrian thought, exists as a battleground where these two forces clash, and every living being plays a role in the outcome. Ahura Mazda's creation is filled with beauty and harmony, but it's also fragile, constantly under threat by Angra attempts to corrupt and destroy it. This duality, light versus darkness, creation versus destruction, is central to Zoroastrianism. It's not just a cosmic struggle, it's a moral one. Humans, as creations of Ahura Mazda, are called to choose between these forces, to align themselves with truth and goodness, or to fall into the traps of deceit and chaos. This idea of moral responsibility is profound. It suggests that every action, no matter how small, contributes to the larger balance of the universe. What's fascinating is how this theme of opposing forces resonates across so many other creation myths. From the Egyptian battle between Maat, the goddess of order, and Isfet, the force of chaos, to the Norse conflict between the gods and the giants, the struggle between light and darkness seems to be a universal thread woven into the fabric of human storytelling. These myths remind us that creation isn't just about beginnings, it's about the ongoing tension between order and disorder, and the human role in shaping the world around us. The Zoroastrian myth, with its vivid imagery of a cosmic battle, invites us to reflect on our own lives. Are we contributing to the light, or are we, even unknowingly, feeding the darkness? It's a question that feels as relevant today as it did thousands of years ago, proving that these ancient stories still have the power to challenge and inspire us. From the celestial heavens to the swirling waters below, the Japanese creation myth of Izanagi and Izanami unfolds as a tale of divine partnership and the sacred act of creation. Imagine a world still in its infancy, where the heavens and earth were barely separated, and the first gods emerged from the chaos. Among them were Izanagi, the god of life, and Izanami, the goddess of death and creation. These two were tasked with bringing order to the formless world below, and their story is one of both triumph and tragedy, a reflection of the delicate balance between life and death. Standing on the floating bridge of heaven, Izanagi and Izanami dipped a jeweled spear into the ocean below. As they lifted it, the droplets that fell from the spear solidified into the first of Japan's islands. This act marked the beginning of their sacred mission to populate the world. Together, they descended to the newly formed land and began to shape it, giving birth not only to the islands of Japan, but also to the gods and natural elements that would inhabit them. Their union was a powerful symbol of creation itself, two forces coming together to bring forth life and order from chaos. But their story is not without its darker turns. When Izanami died giving birth to the fire god Kagatsuchi, Izanagi's grief drove him to the underworld in a desperate attempt to bring her back. What he found there, however, was a horrifying transformation. Izanami, once the embodiment of creation, had become a figure of decay and death. This tragic twist underscores the duality of creation and destruction, a theme that resonates deeply in many myths around the world. Their tale reminds us that creation is often a delicate dance between opposing forces, where life and death, light and shadow are inextricably linked. The myth of Izanagi and Izanami also highlights the sacredness of partnership. Their collaboration was not just a physical act but a spiritual one, rooted in mutual respect and shared purpose. This idea of divine couples as creators is a recurring theme in mythology, from the Greek gods Gaia and Uranus to the Egyptian deities Geb and Nut. Each story reflects the belief that creation is a collaborative effort, a union of complementary forces that together shape the world we know. As we explore these myths, it becomes clear that creation is rarely the work of a single being. Whether through divine couples or the interplay of opposing elements, the act of bringing something into existence often requires balance, cooperation, and sometimes even sacrifice. The story of Izanagi and Izanami serves as a poignant reminder of this truth, inviting us to reflect on the partnerships that shape our own lives and the world around us. In the lush, misty landscapes of ancient Celtic lore, the story of Danu, the mother goddess, unfolds as a testament to the power of creation and nurturing. Revered as the divine mother, Danu is the central figure in one of the most captivating Celtic myths. She is the source of life itself, and from her lineage sprang the Tuatha De Danann, a race of godlike beings whose name literally translates to the people of the goddess Danu. These beings were not just her children, they were her legacy, carrying her essence into the world. The Tuatha De Danann arrived in Ireland shrouded in mystery, their presence marked by an otherworldly fog that enveloped the land. They were said to possess extraordinary skills and knowledge, bringing with them the arts of magic, craftsmanship, and wisdom. Through their actions, they shaped the very fabric of the land, carving rivers, raising mountains, and filling the earth with life. But it wasn't just the physical world they transformed. Their greatest gift to humanity was the transmission of knowledge. They taught people how to cultivate the land, forge tools, and understand the mysteries of the natural world. At the heart of this myth lies a profound theme: the power of the maternal figure as a source of life and wisdom. Danu's role as the mother goddess reflects a universal archetype found in many cultures, a divine mother who not only creates but also nurtures and guides. Her connection to the Tuatha De Danann underscores the idea that creation is not a solitary act but a continuous process of nurturing and passing on knowledge. This myth reminds us that creation isn't just about beginnings, it's about sustaining and enriching life through generations. The story of Danu and the Tuatha De Danann also invites us to reflect on the interconnectedness of all things. Just as Danu's children shaped the land and shared their wisdom, this myth suggests that we, too, are part of a larger cycle of creation and growth. It's a reminder that the gifts of knowledge and understanding are meant to be shared, passed down from one generation to the next, much like the stories themselves. What's fascinating about this myth, and many others like it, is how it highlights the role of maternal figures in shaping the world. From Danu to other mother goddesses across cultures, these stories often portray women as the life-giving force behind creation, weaving together themes of strength, wisdom, and nurturing care. These myths don't just tell us how the world came to be, they reveal the values and beliefs that ancient cultures held dear. As we move forward, we'll see how this theme of maternal power echoes in other creation stories, each offering its own unique perspective on the divine feminine and her role in the universe. But for now, the tale of Danu and the Tuatha De Danann stands as a beautiful reminder of the enduring connection between creation, wisdom, and the nurturing spirit of the Mother Goddess. From the vast expanse of cosmic beginnings, we now turn to the fertile lands of ancient Mesopotamia, where the Sumerians wove a tale that shaped their understanding of humanity's origins. At the heart of this myth are two powerful deities, Enki, the god of wisdom and water, and Ninhursag, the mother goddess of the earth. Together, they embarked on a profound act of creation, molding humanity from the very clay beneath their feet. But this wasn't just an act of artistry, it was a deliberate choice, one that would define the relationship between gods and mortals for millennia. In this story, Enki and Ninhursag gathered clay from the rivers and shaped it into human forms. But these weren't lifeless sculptures, they were infused with a divine spark, a breath of life given by the gods themselves. Why did they do this? The answer lies in the gods' need for servants. The Sumerians believed that the gods, though powerful, were burdened with the toil of maintaining the world. Humans were created to ease this burden, to tend the fields, build the cities, and offer sacrifices to their divine creators. This act of creation, then, wasn't just about bringing life into existence. It was about defining humanity's purpose to serve. Yet, there's a fascinating duality here. While humans were made to serve, they also carried within them a piece of the divine. That spark of life, that breath from the gods, suggests something more profound, a connection to the sacred, a reminder that even in servitude, humanity holds a special place in the cosmos. It's a theme that echoes across many creation myths, the idea that humans, though bound to the earth, also carry a fragment of the divine within them. This myth doesn't just explain where humans came from, it explores why we're here. For the Sumerians, life was a partnership between gods and mortals, a delicate balance of duty and destiny. And as we'll see, this idea of purpose, of humanity's role in the grand tapestry of existence, is a thread that runs through countless creation stories, each offering its own unique perspective on the meaning of life. From the vast, swirling chaos of earlier myths, we now turn to a story of intricate balance and delicate creation. Among the Native American traditions, particularly in the Southwest, the figure of Spider-Woman emerges as a powerful creator, weaving not just threads of silk, but the very fabric of existence itself. She is the weaver of the web of life, a symbol of interconnectedness and harmony that resonates deeply with the natural world. Spider-Woman doesn't simply craft the world, she binds it together. With her hands, she spins threads that connect the earth to the sky, the rivers to the mountains, and every living being to one another. In this myth, creation isn't a single, monumental act, it's an ongoing process, a tapestry that requires care and attention. Every strand she weaves represents the delicate balance of life, a reminder that all things are interdependent. If one thread breaks, the entire web trembles. This myth speaks to a profound truth. The universe is not a collection of isolated parts, but a living, breathing network. Spider-Woman's web is a metaphor for the interconnectedness of all things, a theme that echoes across many creation stories. It's a concept that feels especially relevant today as we grapple with the consequences of disrupting the natural world. The story of Spider-Woman invites us to reflect on our own role within this web, how our actions ripple outward, affecting everything around us. At the heart of this tale is also the sacredness of creation. For Spider-Woman, weaving is not just an act of craftsmanship, it's a spiritual practice. Each thread she spins carries intention and meaning, reminding us that creation is not merely physical, it's imbued with purpose and reverence. This idea challenges us to see the world not as a resource to be used, but as a gift to be cherished. As we move through these creation myths, a common thread begins to emerge: the importance of balance. Whether it's Spider-Woman's web or the cosmic egg of ancient traditions, each story underscores the fragility and beauty of life. They remind us that creation is not a one-time event, but an ongoing dance of harmony and connection. And with that in mind, we step closer to our next myth, where the balance of creation takes on yet another fascinating form. Now, let's turn our attention to a myth that celebrates not just creation, but the very essence of storytelling itself. In the rich tapestry of African mythology, we meet Anansi, the clever spider who is more than just a trickster. He's the bringer of stories and wisdom to humanity. Anansi's tales are woven into the heart of African culture, particularly among the Akan people of Ghana, where his cunning and wit are legendary. But Anansi isn't just a figure of mischief, he's a symbol of creativity and the transformative power of narrative. Anansi's stories often begin with his clever schemes to outwit others, whether it's animals, gods, or even humans. Through his tricks, he doesn't just entertain, he teaches. Each tale is a lesson wrapped in humor, showing how intelligence and resourcefulness can overcome even the greatest challenges. One of the most famous stories tells how Anansi won the world's stories from Niam, the sky god. Niam had kept all the stories hidden in the heavens, but Anansi, with his quick thinking and determination, managed to bring them down to earth, sharing them with humanity. This act didn't just give people tales to tell, it gave them wisdom, culture, and a way to make sense of the world. What makes Anansi so fascinating is how his stories reflect the human experience. Through his trials and triumphs, we see the importance of perseverance, adaptability, and the clever use of knowledge. His tales remind us that stories are not just entertainment, they are tools for survival, teaching us how to navigate life's complexities. Anansi's legacy is a testament to the enduring power of storytelling, showing how myths can shape identities, preserve traditions, and connect communities across generations. As we consider Anansi's role in creation myths, it's clear that storytelling is more than just a pastime. It's a fundamental part of how cultures define themselves. Creation myths, like Anansi's, often highlight the importance of stories in shaping our understanding of the world and our place within it. They remind us that every tale, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, carries the weight of history and the potential to inspire. And speaking of inspiration, let's take a moment to reflect on how creation myths across the globe share this common thread. Whether it's Anansi weaving stories or other myths exploring the origins of the universe, storytelling is at the core of human expression. It's through these narratives that we find meaning, pass down knowledge, and celebrate the creativity that defines us as a species. Anansi's legacy invites us to think about the stories we tell today, how they shape our world, teach us lessons, and connect us to one another. In a way, every story we share is a little piece of creation, shaping the world anew with each telling. The Persian myth of Gaymat offers a profound and poetic vision of the origins of life, blending themes of sacrifice, unity, and the interconnectedness of all things. At the heart of this story is Gaimat, the first human, a being of such immense significance that his existence transcends the boundaries of life and death. According to the myth, Gaimat lived for 3,000 years, a symbol of the eternal cycle of creation and renewal. Yet when he finally passed away, his body didn't simply decay, it transformed. From his bones sprang precious metals, from his blood flowed rivers, and from his soul emerged the seeds of all living beings. His body, in a sense, became the blueprint for the material world. But the story doesn't end there. From Gaimat's body grew a cosmic tree, its roots firmly planted in the earth and its branches reaching high into the heavens. This tree, often referred to as the tree of life or the world tree, became a bridge between the physical and the divine. Its roots drew nourishment from the earth, symbolizing the material world, while its branches stretched toward the sky, representing the spiritual realm. In this way, the tree embodied the connection between all things earth and heaven, body and soul, the seen and the unseen. At its core, the myth of Gaimat is a story of sacrifice and transformation. His death wasn't an end but a beginning, a necessary act that gave rise to the diversity and richness of creation. This theme resonates deeply across many cultures, where the human body often serves as a metaphor for the universe itself. Just as Gaimat's body became the source of all life, so too do other myths describe the cosmos as emerging from the body of a primordial being. It's a powerful reminder of our own connection to the world around us, a world that is both vast and intimately tied to the essence of who we are. As we reflect on this myth, it's worth considering the ways in which it mirrors our own experiences. We too are part of a larger story, one that binds us to the earth and the heavens, to the past and the future. The story of Gaimat invites us to see ourselves not as separate from the universe but as an integral part of its ongoing creation. And perhaps in that recognition, we find a deeper sense of purpose and belonging. The Finnish Kalevala offers a creation story that is as poetic as it is profound. At the heart of this myth lies the cosmic egg, a symbol brimming with the promise of life and the birth of the universe. According to the Kalevala, the world began in a vast, empty void, a place of nothingness where even time itself seemed to hold its breath. Yet within this emptiness, a single egg emerged, floating in the primordial waters. This egg, delicate yet infinitely powerful, carried within it the seeds of all existence. One day, the egg cracked open, and from its shell, the universe burst forth. The upper half of the egg rose to become the sky, a vast expanse of light and air. The lower half descended to form the earth, solid and enduring. Between them, the yolk and the whites of the egg transformed into the sun, the moon, and the stars, casting their light across the newly born world. The waters that once cradled the egg became the seas, rivers, and lakes, weaving life into the fabric of creation. This myth speaks to the idea of unity, how all things, no matter how different they may seem, are interconnected. The sky, the earth, and the sea are not separate entities but parts of a greater whole, born from the same source. It's a reminder that creation is not just about separation but also about connection, a delicate balance that sustains the universe. The cosmic egg is a recurring symbol in creation myths across cultures, representing potential and new beginnings. It's a powerful image that captures the essence of creation, something fragile yet full of infinite possibility, waiting to break open and reveal the world within. This theme resonates deeply, reminding us that even in chaos, there is the potential for order, beauty, and life. From the swirling chaos of the Norse Ymir to the primordial waters of ancient Egypt, these 20 creation myths each offer a unique window into how our ancestors made sense of existence. Despite the vast differences in cultures and geographies, these stories share a remarkable thread: themes of chaos giving way to order, sacrifice birthing creation, and the profound interconnectedness of all life. Whether it's the Maori tale of Rangi and Papa, whose separation brought light to the world, or the Hindu story of Purusha, whose cosmic sacrifice formed the universe, these narratives remind us of a universal truth: creation is often born from transformation, struggle, and unity. What ties these myths together isn't just their explanations of how the world began, but their deeper reflection of humanity's timeless quest for meaning. Each story, in its own way, reveals our ancestors' attempt to grapple with the mysteries of existence, why we are here, how the universe came to be, and what connects us to one another and the cosmos. These myths aren't just ancient tales, they're mirrors reflecting our shared curiosity, creativity, and resilience as a species. As we reflect on these stories, it's worth considering how they resonate with us today. In a world where science and technology often dominate our understanding of the universe, these myths remind us of the power of storytelling to explore the profound questions that science alone cannot answer. They invite us to see ourselves as part of a larger tapestry, woven together by the same cosmic threads that inspired our ancestors. To close, let's remember the words of Carl Sagan, who once said, "We are a way for the cosmos to know itself." These myths are more than just explanations, they are invitations to wonder, to connect, and to explore the infinite mysteries of existence. Which of these creation myths spoke to you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to share this video with someone who loves unraveling the stories of our universe. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep marveling at the stories that have shaped us all.